Find out a little bit more about you. So what gives you confidence?
It's a very interesting question. I think two things really. I like to set myself challenges and push through them. So, that could be building a business, scaling a business, selling the business, sharing the knowledge around that with people. Public speaking didn't come naturally to me, but sort of worked my way through that. And then on the kind of risk side or sports side, bungee jumping, skydiving, Ironman events, not things that just came naturally to me. You have to push yourself through it. So I think once you've done these things, you just get a lot of confidence. And then the second thing would be, because I'm a bit of a feedback junkie, just getting a lot of positive reinforcement and confidence from family, friends, colleagues, just around things that I've executed well on or the business has. I think these are the things that give me confidence.
I think it's having all the information to hand. I think that it's being prepared, or having been prepared so many times before that I am just ready now. And I was thinking about doing these shows, and we just touched on it earlier, is that, I've done 500 live chat shows. At the start, I was petrified. I would have had to write down everything I was going to say, exactly what I was going to do at every moment in time. But being prepared has meant that I have that confidence just to go on screen. And most of the time, it makes it successful. And then when things go wrong, I still know what I need to change to get it right. So that's kind of what gives me that confidence.
Yeah, so muscle memory then.
Yeah.
repeat, doing it lots. And that's the same for recruiters, isn't it? If you're doing it lots of times, you will get better and better at it. And yeah, it went wrong today. And both of us, I've probably done similar amounts as well. We're in that situation. We're like, right, okay, plan B. Yeah. What are we going to do? Take it from there. Okay, so
for you need to answer that for yourself now.
What gives me confidence? You're right. The knowledge is the first thing. Also, feeling good in myself. Unfortunately, I am a little bit vain. So if I came on here without hair and makeup done, I would be a lot less confident than if I do. So there's a little bit of a mask going on there, but I am one of those people. Throw me into a situation, I'm happy to wing it, and I can just get on with it. But if I haven't got my hair and makeup on, maybe not. Can't do it for me.
Well, I don't actually think I'm a very confident person, and you'll most probably tell that throughout this interview. I think when I'm talking about things that I'm passionate about, then I'm confident because it's a true passion. I believe it, my core values. If I've got a presentation to do or something, I'm usually really, really nervous. But what I do is I make sure that I prepare. So preparation is absolutely key. And also, as you get older, I've got a lot more experience. So it's far easier for me now to give examples of whatever I'm presenting because, I would have had that experience. And I think that's where confidence comes from. But I don't think I'm an actually confident person, but I'm very good at faking it to make it. So I'm very good at pretending I am. But whether I am on the inside is another thing.
Gives you confidence.
Oh, my inner geek coach needs to come out here, and I've got to say it is living in alignment with my values and my belief system. So my core values are freedom, adventure, and impact, which are sorely being tested during lockdown. But there are ways to adapt and still living those. But yeah, just freedom for me is spending time as I see fit. I absolutely love getting up in the morning and thinking, right, okay, where do I spend my time today? And just having the freedom to do exactly that. And most of the time that works out pretty well. An adventure, definitely draw my inspiration from nature. When we can, I go to the Lake District every quarter and I go and climb a mountain, and that's where I have my strategy away days. Even when I had quite a big team, I'd still go off on my own and go and climb a mountain and just check that everything was in alignment. And that kind of keeps me on track. The plan B for that at the moment is to go to the local woods and just kind of sit there and check I'm on track with it. And then impact as well. That really, really gives me confidence. Like right now, I can't even tell you, I am having the time of my life just looking at the recruitment industry and creating stuff to make it better. my whole kind of ethos is that authentic recruiters change lives. I really, really think we do, and it's a noble profession, and I want to change negative perceptions of the industry, and everything I do is kind of focused on doing that.
Well, I think confidence is based on building blocks, isn't it? So if you can, like all these things, you can build up some increasing reinforcement that you're doing the right thing. It builds you, then it gives you the confidence, the sense that you can carry on and doing something further. I think you can look at it from a positive and a negative perspective. I think that there is undoubtedly the sense of, are you inspired by someone? Has someone given you the starting point, sense, give you the self-awareness that you can do things? Like many people, I think for me, it's probably a teacher at school who was inspirational, that actually made me feel actually I could do something well, do well with the subject. And then the occasional bit of sport that you could do quite well. And then the reinforcement of friends and peers, actually you're not a complete disaster socially. Those things help. But then it's the self-awareness then to know your own self as you get older. And that's the benefit of maturity, I suppose. But hopefully the sooner you can get that level of self-awareness to know that you can make mistakes, and it's totally acceptable to make mistakes. The trick is to learn from those, and to be clear as to what's the core to you, what actually matters, because I think it comes down to one of your other questions about priorities. I mean, it all comes down to what's really important, and for me, it's always been knowing the sense of what's right and what's wrong, and what's actually going to have an impact down the line or not, and what actually to me is going to actually make me feel, I'm going to feel good about myself or bad about myself. I don't mind making mistakes as long as I learn from them, and as long as I've behaved in a way to other people, or I've actually worked in a way which is true to my own personal moral code.
This is a tricky one, actually, because I think I don't think I'm a particularly confident person, but I'm confident in my craft. I'm confident in what I do, and what gives me that confidence is experience and knowledge and openness, and really embracing my market and really working with my clients and my candidates, and feeling like I am an expert in what I do. Excuse me. That's what gives me confidence. I'm not a naturally confident person. I think the most people, the people that come across most confident are the ones that are, a little bit like me, I suppose. We're all like, here we are. But actually, we're like potatoes. There's layers to us. So, we're like this because we've got to this place. But for me, it's being really honest and open and knowledgeable about the market that I work in. That's what gives me confidence.
I suppose my self-belief. I remember doing a training course many years ago before I started on my own with a lady called Heather Wright, who's a motivational lady. And Heather talked to us about your self-talk. And I took so much from that that I changed the way that I speak to myself. So I never tell myself I can't do something. I tell myself I can do it, and then I work out how we're going to do it. I also get my confidence from other people. So other people believing in me, my team, my clients, my networking colleagues, my peers. And if they believe in me and they trust me, then I have more confidence to go and do what I want to do. So yeah, I suppose that's where I get my confidence from.
Well, I think confidence comes with sort of time, experience, and definitely success, because that can always give you confidence and everything like that. I mean, I remember one of our trainers at Blue Arrow saying to me, people can live off a compliment for 2 weeks. And that's so true. If someone said something nice about my team, a candidate, my business, that would just boost my confidence. But I don't think it's a bad idea to have butterflies. Like, I was nervous coming on here today, probably because I thought I'd say something stupid.
We're not finished yet.
No, it's still early days.
Excellent. And you're right. Anything new, it's like, oh, okay, can I do this?
Absolutely.
Can I not? We don't know. And you're right. Those butterflies give that adrenaline, gives you a push, gives you that sense.
And it shows that you care. You're still passionate about what you're doing.
Definitely.
Well, it's an interesting question. What gives me confidence? For those of you who are old enough, the Colgate ring of confidence. So cleaning my teeth in the morning. What gives me confidence? To be honest, what gives me confidence, I think, is hanging out with people that are better than I am, that are cleverer than I am, or more successful than I am, or more powerful than I am, because I found that by hanging out with those kind of interesting people, the first thing you realize is actually they're the same as you. And, you know, whether they are business people, politicians, royalty, I've been lucky enough to meet some really interesting people. But, you know, they get up in the morning, go to the toilet, put their trousers on and work out what they're going to have for breakfast in exactly the same way that we do. And I think that does give me confidence and should give us all confidence, because they're not a different species. And with a bit of application, I think most of us can achieve a great deal in life.
Gin? No. Tell you what gave me confidence to set up initially. When I resigned, you know, and you're feeling nervous about things. When I resigned, my CEO offered to back me and appreciated that I wanted to do it for myself, and financially offered to back me to set up my own agency. And I thought, well, if you've got that faith in me, then maybe I should have the faith in myself. So I did that. So that gave me confidence then. These days, I would say it's being surrounded by people that believe in me. So my team are great. You know, I've got a good team at home as well. You know, my husband and my children, they believe in me, and that gives me confidence, because I know that I need to provide for them, and I need to make sure that that Vanilla delivers.
I think probably being part of a big family originally. I'm one of 7. I lost my father when I was 12, and therefore my mother and brothers and sisters and all that, sort of, we all unified and had to get on with it. And because you have to get on with it, that makes you a confident person. But I think it's mainly knowledge and honing your skill set that builds the confidence. And it becomes a little bit circular to me, because by honing your skill set and getting confident, therefore you're very good at what you do. In fact, when I was a consultant, I knew I was good at doing my job because my clients presumed I had a degree in the engineering construction sector, which I didn't, but they presumed I did because I knew what I was talking about. And I think then it's having the confidence makes you brave. So then it's being brave enough to take that leap sometimes and get out your comfort zone, a bit like this. What by doing that actually helps your confidence again, and then you take on more and more things. I think that's probably what gives me confidence. It's the focus and the honing of skills and being good at what you are good at.
And I think
I have to say, I learned that it's not the big steps which makes it. So I do a lot of little steps, and those little steps professionally or in sports or in private life are the ones who, you know, where I can see some results and at the same time have a goal in which I'm aiming for, but this subdivided into little steps, daily steps, where this vision can become true. And I have a team working with me, which makes this vision become true. That's a bit where, you know, I get confidence from professionally reaching also these little steps or goals every day, every week, because just this one big goal and doesn't, you know, make what you want to build up in life, and confidence is a professional part of it. I also get a lot of confidence seeing my children growing up, becoming real personalities, and where I can now let them go into the world and explore, and where I think, okay, they are grown up, they now have their built characters. Seeing that, being, seeing how they also deal with other people, how they build up their little steps every day, that also gives me confidence. And on top, I have to say, it is for me also this network of, I have a lot of friends and long established relationships is for me something which gives me confidence, in the sense that people are with me for a longer time. I am with them for a longer time, and we can really look at each other, gives each other different perspectives. I like to learn from other perspectives, other people whom I trust. And also having those longer lasting relationships over years, 10, 20. I'm now with a friend here whom I know more than 40 years. So that gives you an indication of my age, but also saying that this is something where I get confidence also from. So it's not only, I'm not based only on succeeding business-wise, entrepreneurship-wise, but also privately, friendships, relationships, that all comes together for me and has to come together. So, yeah.
Reflection. So looking back, so, when things happen that sort of blindside you or come at you, or you're not feeling great about something, you're worried about something, I got this strategy where I think, when have I felt like this before? When have I been this frightened before? When have I had a challenge like this before? What have I done, and did it work out? And that does give me a bit more confidence, because if you think about it, I've got through it, lots of different challenges before, and you do get through it. And once actually, I went, some of these seminars where they teach you how to handle stress and things like that. I think I went on a detox retreat or something like that. And then somebody said to me, it's only now, it's today. Tomorrow might be very differently. It's only how you feel at this moment. And I do try to do, because things are always worse in the moment, aren't they? And they're always worse late at night. And I think, so I have to say to myself, it won't be so bad tomorrow. Believe it won't be so bad tomorrow. It won't, but it may take a little bit longer, but eventually you come through it. So I just think that, that's what gives me confidence that I've done it before, or something similar. What have I done in the past? What resources have I pulled on in the past? Everything is different, but the principles of it, I can pull on different people's advice or different people's different resources that you can get hold of. And I just think, what I will say is I'm tenacious, and I will persevere. I will get over it. I never give up. I don't give up. I might change tack, might deviate a little bit, but that gives me confidence. But I am naturally not that confident a person.
I mean, I think I'm lucky. I'm not somebody who has a massive ego or anything, but I do have quite a lot of natural confidence. And I think it's that sort of nature v nurture thing. I come from a family where my mother, the expectation was quite high. So I suppose from her, a lot of confidence from her even now. I think you get a lot of confidence from success. If things are going well, whether it's, how you're parenting your children, or how, work is going, or, what's in your bank account, let's be honest, or can you afford to buy, or go on that great holiday. I think success comes in sort of lots of different ways. And yes, I think success is probably what drives my confidence. And I suppose my confidence will always be at its lowest when things are not going so well. So I don't think it's anything in particular, but probably, the tribe that is around you gives you that confidence. But obviously, a lot of it has to come from yourself at the end of the day.
This is an interesting question, because I my instinctive answer, well, I'm naturally self-confident, I'm strong emotionally and what have you. I was trying to peel back the layers and trying to work out why am I like that. I am like that, but why am I like that? And I think probably I was born, my family were very poor. Not very happy. I'm in a perfectly happy, very happy childhood, but I had to fight early on. I mean, my parents never owned their own home or anything like that. And I had to fight to go to grammar school. I was the only kid from my school the first to go to grammar school. I had to fight to get to sixth form against my parents more than anything else, to go on to college and so on. So I think it probably came from that I wasn't afraid of a fight in the metaphorical sense. I always wanted to do better or do more. And I think that resilience and that it gives you confidence. That's the best answer I can come up with. I'm sure there are better ones, but certainly that's my background. I think that's probably where it comes from.
I think for me, I've kind of got this weird innate belief in myself. In some ways I don't. In some ways I know very much what my weaknesses are. And you should see me trying to copy a PT in a training class. Choreograph the moves. It's like a comedy show. But DIY, no thanks. But I kind of know the things that I think I'm more suited to, and I just back myself. And I think that's probably quite a big thing I'll say to anybody really, is that if sometimes you need to be really aware of what's in you, and if you believe that you can do something. So I just felt like I'd be all right with what I did. Maybe it's not a business plan, but it's certainly something in terms of that confidence that can fuel you. So I think that innate belief that I've got certainly helps me. And I also think, if I'm really honest about it, sometimes just feeling good about myself mentally and physically. It's that, if you're in a good place, be it exercise wise, and whether you're just reflecting on where you're at in your life, and you feel like, I've got this and I've got this and I've got this. Sometimes it's important to just, take stock of what's going on, realize actually you're in a pretty good situation, and then try and capitalize on that.